Welcome to Dunedin, a tartan-hearted Caledonian corner of Haggisdom. Wait a minute, Fungus. I think you'll find there's more to Dunedin than just porridge and pissheads. Aye, the little enemy with their underpants and their English muffins and their table manners. Wow! There were people here before the English and the Scots. Let's toss the caber on the old racial stereotypes and move to a contemporary Dunedin. A Dunedin that is multi-language, multicultural, multi-orgasmic, multi-vitamin, multi-magnificent city of diversity. How do we celebrate diversity? Food, music, dance, but stories. Stories, if you really want to understand a culture, learn their stories. If you want to destroy a culture, steal their language, and still the stories will remain. We are our stories. All of us have personal stories, but let's share the stories of our different cultures that we have in Dunedin. So bring on the birth photos. This is the birth of an inaugural storytelling festival that happened at the beginning of this year. 15 different storytellers, all telling in their mother tongue and then translating into New Zealand's unofficial language, English, the other official one. There was sign language, Hebrew, Icelandic, all kinds of languages, people telling their stories. Now you can meet some of our tellers. I want to tell you a little bit about Hala. She's from Saudi Arabia. She initially wanted to tell a Grimm's fairy story, but we persuaded her that something from Saudi Arabia, from the Nasruddin, if you know that tradition, and now she's telling those stories to her children. So a little bit of cultural pride. We didn't just toss them in. It's a difficult thing to stand up and tell stories, so we ran a workshop, and that had amazing spin-offs. All these guys, they practiced their stories at the workshop. They met outside the workshop time in order to share, in order to really present a really polished performance. There wasn't just the language of stories. There was also the language of dance. Here we have typical Dunedin scene, pouring down with golden sunshine. And the Chinese lion dance. I don't know if anyone else caught Peter Chin singing Auld Lang Syne in Cantonese back in the day. But anyway, so this is really typical Dunedin. So we had the Chinese lion dance. He waka kotuia, the best. Somebody was talking about coming from King's High School, also famous for its kapahaka group, and there's a community choir there. If you're going to make a noise in the library, make a big one. Fill the 5 stories with karanga and harmonies. They were just awesome. And so they opened our festival. And check it out. In Dunedin, we have a world-famous puppeteer. This is not a Mataura experience. In Dunedin, we have all these incredible cultural things, and a gamelan orchestra. They don't even have that in Auckland. So I know you're going to ask, when is this next festival happening? St. Patrick's Day. Wrong accent, never mind. So we want to encourage you to get smashed on story, drunk on the wine of poetry. May the library steps rise up to greet you, and you be cradled in the palm of the storytelling goddess. And I have to say, mila felte, which I think even... Oh, Fungus, you've lost your head. Hey! What are you doing? Flirting with Josh Thomas. He's a lovely man. You're single, Josh. Fungus, he grows on you. Anyway. I forgot to mention, we're also looking for volunteers. So round the world in 80 Tales, St. Patrick's Day next year, and do come along. It'll be fantastic. Even it'll make your head fall off, really.